right now because everything always looks so slanty. That looks a little bit better. Maybe? Kind of? All right. Welcome back, everybody. We're doing 45 to 60-ish minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility. We do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat, support each other, hang out, and I just realized I didn't even hit the right button over on TikTok. I'm so silly. All right, let me try that again. Welcome back, everybody. We are doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching. We do this every single day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and hopefully make it a little bit more fun, make it more enjoyable to work on these crazy muscles and make a bit of progress in our side split goals. If that sounds fun, hang out, do some stretches. Let's go. We are moving this out of the way. First thing we're gonna do is warm up the body. We're gonna start that with some hip cars. Hip cars are all about moving your leg through its full range of motion using muscle power. And it looks like this. We're gonna lift this knee as high as it can go directly to the front to start. We're gonna open up that hip wide, really, 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 really wide. Just keep on going. Go, 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 go. From here, we're gonna start rotating this leg so that the ankle is at least horizontal. All right? If you can, and I recommend that you try, keep going. Bring the knee down, bring the ankle up, rotate some more, and then we're gonna bring the leg down and back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, really pull that leg back, feel the stretch here in the hip flexor, and that's one rep. We're gonna do this 10 times on the left side. Oh, what? Ooh, hold on, sorry. Making sure the my microphone says it's connected on Bluetooth. Rosanna asks, what's this exercise? Oh, Gayatha says the audio sounds different. Oh, is it not different? Is it good now? Okay, great. Cool. Rosie prefers to be called Rosie. Hey, Jay, welcome. Asks, what is this good for? This is really good for slowly building up strength in your hips because you're doing this with muscle power. And this type of mobility helps you to move better, get into positions maybe that look a little bit like this, maybe a little bit more like this, because you're able to control and get into these deeper opener positions for your hips. That's what we worked on. Cool. All right. What did we just do? We demonstrated the first one. We're gonna do 10. Let's do it. High knee, open, ankle up, bring the leg down and back. High knee, open up, ankle up, down and back. There's another benefit, and that is smoothness. A lot of people who don't use their hips in a variety of ways because, in normal life, you generally don't, tend to have really cranky, loud hips that don't sound very smooth. What we're trying to do here is make sure you get a little bit of movement through the hips, through the hip capsule in the pelvis, and make your movement a little bit smoother. I have completely forgotten to count. I'm gonna pretend we just did 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are hip cars. Going forward, for our left leg, we're gonna switch over to the side, do the right leg. Let's do it. High knee. Open up that hip. Rotate the leg, bring the ankle up. Bring the leg down and back. High knee. Open. Rotate. Down and back. High knee. Open. Rotate. Down and back. I think it's 3. 4. Open. Rotate. Down and back. 5. Open. Rotate. Down and back. 6. Open. Rotate. Down and back. 7. Open. Rotate. Down and back. 8. Open. Rotate. Down and back. 9. Open. Rotate. down and back. Last one, 10. Open, rotate, down and back. That is, of course, going forward. We did 10 reps on the left leg, on the right leg. We're going to take a quick pause, breathe, move those hips around, do some hula hooping, and then we're going to go backwards. We're going to do 10 reps going backwards. And all of the main positions that we hit going forwards, we're going to hit again, but in reverse order. All right? Let's get into it. We're going to start by bringing the leg back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, really pull the hip back. I don't really want you to turn into this U shape. I want you to focus on stretching out this front hip and try to keep your back and your spine relatively straight when you do this. Try not to sort of turn into this U shape. Try to tuck your chest in and have all the movement come from the hip. It's going to be really hard, and I do it too. So, don't freak out if you can't figure it out. Take your time. Cool. Here, we've gone backwards. Now we're going to lift our leg up to the side. It's going to look a little bit like whoosh, a little martial arts kick for a moment here. So add that in if that makes you happy. From here, we're going to rotate and bring that ankle up as high as we can. And then we're going to bring the ankle down as low as we can. Then we're going to bring everything over to the front. And that is how we finish our hip cars. That was a lot of information. Threw in a lot of extra stuff in there. Don't worry about all that stuff. Follow along. Let's go. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 2. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. 5. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. 6. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. 7. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. 8. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 9. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 10. Oh, those are the hip cars. For that other leg, we have one last leg to do. We are 75% of the way done, 25% left. Breathe. Let's go. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes, pull that hip flexor back. Lift the leg directly to the side. Add in a little kick for that first time if you want, because you feel so cool. Then we're going to rotate the ankle up real high. Bring the ankle real low. Lift the knee as high as we can. And bring that knee across to the front. That's 1 rep. We got 10 more to go. Let's go. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. We just finished 2. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 4. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 5. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 6. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 7. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 8. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 9. Last one. Let's go. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. 10. That is all of our hip cars, and that is our first warm-up exercise. We got 2 more to go to finish our warm-up, but let's remind you why we're here. We're doing 45 to 60-ish minutes, most likely 60-ish minutes of side splits and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice the number 1 quality, consistency, to build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes into the chat. Hang out, talk to each other, get to know each other, answer questions, ask questions, and hopefully that combination of consistency, community, good vibes helps us make a whole bunch of progress in better hip movement, better movement in general, and our side splits. If that sounds cool, hit follow, hit subscribe. If you're not quite sure yet, hang out, keep watching, and you can make a decision later. Come on out of that. We are getting into the second warm-up exercise. Hopefully, you've gotten a chance to rest from those hip cars while I gave the spiel. We want to just fold forward. I want to get into this L shape. Your low back might be a little bit tired and need the relief. You might be so tight right now that you don't even feel that this is a hamstring stretch. You're feeling it in your back. Give it a couple of seconds. Relax. And now try to bring your belly button down towards the ground. Once you start doing that, you might start feeling the hamstring stretch. And keep going. This is not an explosive exercise. There's nothing super intense about it other than the fact that you're slowly increasing the pressure on your hamstrings. And don't forget to breathe. Take a little bit of time. All right, now we are going to start bending one knee at a time. What that means is we're going to bend left knee and straighten the right leg. And the whole time, we're going to be trying to bring the belly button down as low as we can go. All right? Keep going from side to side. You might feel a little bit of discomfort in your hamstrings. You might feel something sort of like way up here by your butt, but still maybe kind of your hamstring. That is normal. Those are where the hamstrings turn into tendons and where the tendons connect into your pelvis, right underneath your butt. So if you're feeling some tension there, very normal. Other than that, we are getting into a deep hamstring stretch by folding forward, and then we're going to move in that hamstring stretch. So it is also normal that your hamstrings are going, whoa, what is this? This is craziness. I have never done this before, and this is so weird. Totally fine. The other thing you might be feeling a little bit as we do more of these and we're swinging from side to side is your calves might be getting a little bit tingly and your toes might be getting a little bit tingly. That is probably the nerves in your legs getting a little bit of a stretch. This is often called nerve stretching or nerve flossing, if you're going to Google it later, just to confirm that it's totally safe. That's what it's called. Okay. And it's also pretty normal, so you don't need to worry about that. Again, we're doing this nice and slow and gentle. It's not about explosively doing anything intense. We are just warming up, chilling, relaxing. Keep on trying to bring the belly button down as low as you can go. And shift that weight from side to side. You might notice that your movements are getting smoother. Maybe your chest is getting lower to the ground. You're feeling a little bit smoother in your motion. That is what we are trying to do. This is what the warm-up is for. Whew. All right, 3 more seconds. We're going to move on. 3, 2, 1, 0. Come on up, back into standing. If you've been bent forward for a while, you might need a second to stand up because all that blood that was pooling in your head needs some time to come hang out in the rest of your body. If your calves and your toes are still a little tingly, you can give them a shake, move around, do a little dance. And once your legs are feeling a bit better, maybe your back, maybe the blood in your head has retreated to the other parts of your body, we're going to start doing some thoracic rotations. We're going to do that from the exact same position we just got out of. Forward fold, open the legs slightly. We're going to bend one knee. Right now, my left knee is bent. My right leg is straight. We're going to open the chest and rotate to the right. Boom. Then we're going to push against that leg and rotate some more. Nice and slow. Reach behind us, extend the right arm, rotate the neck, look at the hand, and reach. Come back down to center. Then we're going to switch it up and do the same thing on the other side. Right knee is bent, left knee is straight. We're reaching the hand across, pushing to open up the chest, extending the left arm up into the air behind us, looking at the hand, and breathe. Come on back down. That was 1 rep. We're going to do 5 in total, so we got 4 more. Let's go. Left knee is bent, right leg is straight. Reach. And down. Reach. And down. Reach. And down. This is the start of number 3. 2 more. Reach. Again, this is not about explosiveness. This is about getting a little extra stretch for your spine. So take your time. Be gentle. Take care of your movement. Take care of your back. And that, I believe, is number 5. We are all done with the thoracic rotation. Hopefully, your back feels a little bit looser. Maybe you feel a little bit of exhaustion here in the shoulder from reaching back for that whole entire time. And the good news is we're done with that. We're not using our arms for like anything else. This is side splits and hip mobility. Let's move on. We're getting into some Cossack switches to wrap up our 3rd and final warm-up exercise. Cossack switches look a little bit like this. You don't have to jump into it just yet. Let me demonstrate first. Cossack switches look a little bit like this. We're basically doing a really deep squat on one leg, and the other leg is extended over to the side. All right, we want to try to sit as low as we can and get maximum compression. Turn as small as possible on one side, and this leg is just chilling a little bit, kind of hanging out over here. All right, this is the static position on one side, but the switch is actually moving from one side to the other, squishing low, getting on the other side, and then coming back to your starting point. That is 1 rep. Going to the left once, going to the right once. You might notice that the deep squished position for that one leg is basically just half of a deep squat. So I want you to warm up and prepare for this exercise by doing a little bit of a squat. Come on over and come down, squish, turn into a little ball, pull your knees to your chest. And for this exercise, if you want, it is totally okay to elevate your ankles and have them up. You're still getting the calf stretch, you're still getting stretched, and it'll probably be a little bit easier to balance. For most of us, if you have your heels planted, you'll start wanting to fall backwards. And that doesn't really help us in our stretches, right? So push your knees a little bit forward, keep on working on that stretch, turn into a little ball, and breathe. You should be feeling a little bit of almost pinching, but that fold at the hip. You should be feeling a little bit of tension in the Achilles tendon and the calves right above the tendon. You should be feeling some pressure in your knees. And I'm going to keep explaining stuff while you hang out in that position. Okay, so we know about this, getting squished and compact and low. We're going to extend this leg out to the side. To help you with that, you can always put your hands down in between your legs for a little bit of support. I recommend you have your heels down the whole time. So this heel is down and that heel is down. The goal of this is to move from side to side and get maximum range of motion and strength built. So for your heels to come down, you might need to get into a position that looks more like this, way higher up than that squished position that we were in. I want you to aim to try and get to this position, but if you're not ready for that, you just can't get into it right now, this is a perfectly valid position, all right? This, however, is going to be a little bit tough to use your hands for. We're going to put our hands down and help bring the weight over to the other side. And I want you to try to take a moment to squish as low as you can, and then come back out of it. Come back to the other side and squish as low as you can. You can keep your hands down the whole time. And you can also, as you get stronger, not use your hands at all. And keep the angle that you were leaning forward at your chest. That's enough information to get us started. So come on in. Let's get ready. You're in the squat position. Put your hands down. Extend the leg. Sit back so that your heels are down. And Put your hands down so you can scoot your butt over. Let's go. Here is rep number 1. Sit deep, come back over, sit deep, come back over, and that is 2 reps. If you want, you can try not using your hands and go for number 3. Entirely optional. If that was too much, put your hands back down, keep going. That's 4. 5. At the end of each one, we're sitting back for a second on that heel, using those muscles we were practicing the squish for. Keep going. We are already past halfway, I think. This is 6. To make these a lot harder, you can stand up super straight and keep going. Again, these are entirely optional. This is 7. 8. You can always go back to using your hands for support. 9. Last one. 10. Those are the Cossack switches. What is this doing to help you? And also, you can stand up and shake out your legs if you need to. Right now, what are these helping? Well, this leg right here is basically doing a side split. From the midpoint of your body out, this leg is doing a side split. When your toes are pointing up, your heels are down, and your knees are pointing up, this leg is rotated in a way where the thigh bone does not smash into your hip bones. And that allows us to get into a really deep side split position. This might actually be way deeper in that side split position than you can get into the side split with both legs. Other than that, we are working on that hip mobility. We're trying to get real low, get compact, get into the practice of getting into positions where we can get comfortable being in something that looks like a deep squat. And we're getting a lot stronger from this position. We're building strength to come up out of the squat from the lowest possible, most compact version of it. And we're building up some strength in the sides of our legs to help us go from one side to the other. That's why Cossack switches are awesome. They work a lot of hip mobility. They help us build strength from these very weak, compact positions. And they're great cardio. I'm still out of breath. Okay, that was our warm-up exercises. I hope you've taken a second to catch your breath, to drink some water, because I was explaining things that you didn't have to be in a squat for. We're going to move on into our 5 stretches. The first thing that we're going to do is a hamstring stretch. And for the hamstring stretch, we're going to get into a position that looks like this. We're dropping one knee to the ground, extending one leg in front of us, and we're folding forward, bringing the belly button down. For this part, it might make you feel a lot better to have some cushioning for your knee. In fact, I would like to have some cushioning for my knee, so I'm gonna go grab a pillow. I will be right back. Grab a sip of water if you need it. Cushion retrieved. And water to be drunk. Okay, there are a bunch of people online. So I want to remind you that we're doing 60-ish minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility. We do this every single day to practice consistency, the number one quality, build a little bit of community. I try to bring good vibes to the internet. I hope you bring good vibes to the chat, hang out, engage, ask questions, ask each other questions, answer questions, do all those good things, support each other to make, the suffering that we do on the floor a little bit more bearable, a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable, so that we can make a whole bunch of progress in our hip mobility, in better movement, in our side splits together. All right, follow, subscribe, do all those cool things. Let's go. It's time for the hamstring stretch. To do the hamstring stretch, we are dropping down to one knee. We're pointing our chest forward, our hips forward, and extending our leg forward. We're stretching out this leg, but I want you to focus on this belly button right here. We are trying to bring that belly button down to the thigh. And that's what I want you to focus on the most. I'm going to spin around. You don't have to move because I cannot see you. From here, bring the belly button. We're going to feel that hamstring stretch. And I want you to just chill for a second in that hamstring stretch position. Whew. Just like how when we were doing the elephant walk, the first couple of seconds were really intense and then we breathed a little and got used to it. That is what we're doing right now. To add on to it, we're going to take a big inhale and we're going to exhale slowly. And as we exhale, we're going to fold a little bit deeper into the stretch. All right, let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. We're bringing the belly button down to the thigh. It's all about the belly button. I don't want your head to come down and your chest to come down and your back to round. That's too much. Belly button to the thigh. All right. From here, I hope you've taken some normal breaths. Your hamstrings are probably really tight and uncomfortable. And we're going to do another inhale, exhale. Inhale. Exhale and fold. All right, that's it. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. Come on out of that hamstring stretch. Grunt, complain, be unhappy. That's totally okay. That is the hamstring stretch on one leg. We still have another leg, so let's get into it. Swap the knee that is down. Extend that leg forward. I didn't talk about this the first time, but you can try to pull the leg in to your body, and that will help you focus on the hamstring stretch. If you are fully extended way out here and it looks like you're about to do a side split, you're probably working a little too hard. All right? We're focused on one muscle at a time. You don't have to do all this. Pull that leg in. Fold the belly button down and breathe. From here, I'm taking a hot second to let your body relax into this stretch a little bit. Then we're going to inhale and exhale and fold. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. You might notice one leg is way more flexible than the other. That is normal. You might also notice your knee is getting a little bit uncomfortable. To make your knee a little bit more comfortable, you can definitely give a slight bend. But when you bend the knee, you're going to reduce the hamstring stretch. So I would like you to really focus on bringing your belly button down to the thigh and then keep going. Keep going, keep going. Bring your chest down to the leg as much as possible. And then after that, focus on straightening out the knee. Straightening out the knee comes last because that is what hurts and is uncomfortable. So we're saving the last little bit of stretching for the hamstring to the very end. All right? That's it. One more inhale, exhale, and we're ready to go. Inhale. Exhale. Fold. 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. It might help to imagine that you're not necessarily just folding straight down, but you're also extending and pulling your head long and above to past your toes and letting the belly button come down naturally. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, come on out of that hamstring stretch. Oh, breathe. Relax for a second. If that was really intense, totally understandable. It's not an easy stretch. Grab that pillow, toss it to the side. You don't need it anymore. We are moving on to stretch number 2. I recommend you get to a wall, something really durable and something that you can lean into, push into pretty safely. All right, we're gonna scoot our butts over to the wall. We are going to have our hips, our shoulders, our head against the wall. We're going to pull our feet together and bring them in. And then it's going to look like this. Our knees are up here. Maybe they're a little bit higher up, but we're feeling a little bit of pressure in our mid back. That's because the wall is keeping us supported so we don't roll backwards. And that allows us to focus on the actual stretch we care about. This stretch in the butterfly stretch, or it's often also called the tailor's pose, we are working on stretching out the groin. And what that means is, for you visually, is we're bringing the knees down into the ground. I want you to start by using your outer thigh muscles, your glutes, to pull your leg open, because that'll help you strengthen those muscles and it'll give you more control over that position. And once you've done that, you can take your hands and apply a little bit of pressure to your legs, help push them down. And when you do this, you'll feel more pressure in the back of your head and the tops of your shoulders, because that is where your arms are most closely connected. When you're pushing into your arms, you're also pushing your back. Luckily, we have a wall to support us, and that allows us to focus on pushing the legs down. Whew. Now you know why the wall is awesome. Let's go. 30 seconds. I need to scoot over to the other side because I don't have enough space over there. And that was a really loud bang. Ow. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. Remember to breathe. Don't hold your breath. 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Let your hands go first. Your legs, your hips might be feeling a little bit weird, like you can't move them very well right now. That is okay. I recommend you use your arms to lift the legs up just a little bit, give them a little bit of movement, and you should suddenly realize your legs have woken up. And you can flap the wings of the butterfly a little bit, and that pretty much means you're ready to go. Let's get out of that position and get into something more standing like. We're going to get into the third stretch, and that is called the standing pancake. In the standing pancake, we have our legs decently wide apart. It doesn't have to be crazy. If your hips are already uncomfortable because your legs are so wide apart, bring them in. All right? Fold at the hips. We're pointing the belly button down into the ground. And the starting position looks like this. If it looks like we're just trying to touch our toes, you are absolutely correct. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. We're hitting that 90-degree angle to the best of our ability, making that L shape like we did in the elephant walk. If that is a sign that our hamstrings are going to be put to work, then yeah, that is a sign. Hamstrings are going to get some action right now. From here, the goal is to fold your hips down into the ground and bring your belly button down, so that your whole entire body is going in between your legs. My pancake is not that good. My back is like completely rounded and I'm kind of shrugging into this pancake. So that is not what a perfect pancake is going to look like, not even close. However, that is how we are getting started, all right? We are doing the standing pancake, this variation, because gravity is pulling your head down, your chest down, your body down into the ground and giving us a little bit of support. And additionally, because we're standing, we got to use some muscles. So this is an opportunity to strengthen your legs while you do the pancake. But it's also really intense. So good luck. From this position, I want you to open up the legs a little bit wider. Doesn't have to be crazy wide. Doesn't have to be the widest that you can possibly reach. Just a little bit wider. And I want you to keep on focusing on forward folding. Bring that belly button down towards the ground. If you're noticing that you feel like you're gonna fall over and your face is gonna smash into the ground, stick your butt a little bit further back. If sticking your butt further back means you gotta start having to come up at an angle, that's totally fine. What matters is that you stay balanced. To make this stretch more intense, you can extend your arms above your head. You can hold a water bottle and do the same thing, and it will feel crazy, crazy difference. That's it. We're folding down 30 seconds. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands down. Come on out of that stretch. And grunt, groan, complain. Do whatever you gotta do. Slowly bring your legs together. If you're struggling with that, you might want to try bring your toes in, bring your heel in, bring your toe in, bring your heel in, bring your toe in, bring your heel in. Do the same on the other side until you have your legs come together, and you can slowly come out of that bent over position. That is some standing pancake. If that felt really, 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 really hard and you didn't like it, need a slight adjustment, modification for the future, this is what I recommend you do. Elevate your butt just a little bit and focus on folding forward. You're probably going to want something a little bit higher than 2 yoga blocks. I just happen to have 2 yoga blocks handy. That chair, probably should have chosen to use that, but it's a squeaky chair and I don't like it, so we're ignoring that chair. We're going to get into that open leg position, right? But we're seated, so we're basically rotated 90 degrees, and I want you to try to fold forward. Again, gravity is still doing a lot of work. It won't be as much as when your chest is horizontal across the floor, but this could be plenty of effort from gravity to get you into a deep, 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 deep stretch. This is a perfect way to start. The reason why I like the standing pancake is because I like to focus on the suffering in the legs and not the suffering of this part. What I mean by that is the hamstring stretch is what's happening when you are folding forward, and when you have your legs really wide apart and you're getting squished down, your inner thighs, the adductors, are doing a ton of work. My hamstrings are always super tight, so I like to focus on strengthening the adductors. When you do this seated version, the adductors don't get much extra love. They're not getting that much stronger. So at some point, it is very likely that you're going to have to do some strengthening for the adductors, for the inner thighs anyway. That is why I like the standing pancake, because we combine both things. However, great big caveat here is the more relaxed you are, the easier it is to get into a deeper stretch. So it is possible from a seated variation, you can actually get into a deeper pancake than if we were doing the standing pancake. So there's some pros and there's some cons, and you can pick which variation you like. Sit on something, get a little bit of support, don't have your inner thighs work as hard, fold forward, a little bit more relaxing, or you can rough it like me and just brute force in a deep, intense position. Cool. All right, that is how I tried to fill the space while your muscles relax. We're going to move on into something a little bit more chill, a little bit more fun. It is the fourth stretch, either the pigeon or the figure four. If you are a regular, you can pick whatever one you'd like. But today, I think we just did the pigeon, so I'm going to explain the figure four. And in general, both stretches look like this. We're bringing the ankle across the body. We're pulling that leg up into the air. We're bringing our belly button down towards that leg, and it might bring the chest and the head with it. From this position, we are feeling the stretch here in the outer thigh, outer hip, side glute-ish area, And it's possible you also feel it here in the hamstrings, depending on how flexible this angle of your leg is. So let's get into the figure 4. We are going to lie down. If you are super exhausted by the standing pancake, then I hope you enjoy this part, lying down. Give me a second. The microphone just slipped around on my glasses. Adjusting. Let's go. We're taking the leg. We're going to stretch. We're going to cross it over our other knee. We're going to reach our arms through the triangle we just created and around that knee to pull that knee in towards our chest. That is basically the whole entire stretch. From here, pull the leg in. Feel that stretch building, maybe in your hamstrings, in your hips. The closer you bring the knee to your chest, the more intense this stretch here in the side of the hip will feel. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26. If you have some knee sensitivity, you can cup the knee and give it a little bit of support. 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, switch to the other side. Same thing, just on the other side. We're taking the other leg. We're crossing it over. This should be pretty chill and relaxing. Then we're going to make it not chill and not relaxing. Reach the hands through the triangle around that leg and pull it into your chest. You should feel the stretch here on the crossed over legs, outer hip, in the hamstrings. Let's go. If you are not feeling the stretch at all, then you are probably relaxing a little bit too much. I know we are lying on our backs, but that is too much. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. If your knees are achy, you can give them a little bit of support, a little bit of love. 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9. If you're feeling like your hips are uneven, that is pretty normal. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh, relax the hip, relax the arms, relax everything. Just chill. That is number 4 of our 5 stretches. And that means we're almost there. It's time for some side splits. The side splits happen a little bit differently than the rest of the stretches. So far, we do 30 seconds of each stretch, and then we move right on. For our 5th and final stretch, we're going to do some side splits. And we're going to do 3 rounds of side splits. Each round is 30 seconds, and in between each round, we're going to shake it out, flop the legs around, and relax in between. I hope you've enjoyed laying on the ground, because it's time to get serious. It's time to go. Let's go. Side splits. Actually, maybe you could lay down a little bit longer. We're going to talk about safety. I recommend you stand 8 to 12 inches, 1 footstep and a half in front of something that you can fall back onto that will stay stable, that will help keep you safe. Why? Why, Ken? What is so dangerous about the side split? It's not that there's so much danger in that there's fear. And that when you are afraid, you're going to feel a lot of tension in your body. And I don't want you to be feeling that tension because we want to relax and we want to get into a deeper stretch. So when we get into a side split, at some point, you're going to be adjusting, you're going to be tweaking, you're going to be like, what is going on? Or maybe you're going to try to shake it and get a little bit of adjustment because whatever. And if you do it just a little bit off balance, you might start falling backwards. You go, oh no, I'm swimming through air, it's not working. And you fall backwards. If you have a nice table here that you can lean casually against to make yourself look really cool after falling, great. That is a good place to start. I actually don't really recommend the table because the edges tend to be sharp and they stab into your back, depending on how intense that fall was. I recommend you get your butt to a wall. Stand that 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall, and when you fall in that position, maybe your shoulders will hit first. Maybe your butt will hit. Whatever it is going to be way better than the pointy little bones at the bottom of your pelvis smashing into the ground and falling like the extra 3 feet. All right? So get in front of whatever is going to help keep you safe, and they'll actually help a little bit with the side splits at the end when you rest your hips on them and adjust and tweak and explore what you're able to do with your hips. All right, that's enough of the spiel about safety and the wall. Let's get into some side splits. We're gonna open up the legs decently wide. They should not hurt at this point. So if your legs and your hips are already uncomfortable, bring the legs in. From here, we're folding forward, and if this is starting to look just like some standing pancakes, oh boy, you are correct. Don't worry, the hamstrings won't be as affected in this stretch. We're gonna put the hands down, and we're gonna open up the legs a little bit wider. When you are in this position, when the tops of your hips are pointed, where your head is pointed, and where your toes are pointed, all three of those directions are aligned, your hips should be in the right position to get into a deeper side split. And from here, we're going to put some weight into our arms. We're going to do something that looks a little bit like a push-up. Not because we're training some chest or some arms, because we want to have the weight out of our legs to make it easier to do this. Ankles are down, toes are up, knees are up. This is called external rotation. Ankle is down, toes are up, knees are pointing up. This is the most important position for our side splits, so I'm calling it out now. The reason why this is important is because it allows us to sit back in our side splits. It's actually the same exact position that we were just in when we were leaning forward, and the tops of our heads and the tops of our hips were pointing towards you guys, towards the camera. The toes were also pointing towards you guys, towards the camera. When we externally rotate the legs, it's to give us the option to sit up and make sure that the legs are all lined up to do the same thing. Again, the tops of my hips, the top of my head, the top of my toes, pointing upwards. Same position, we just rotated backwards 90 degrees. Cool? From here, I want you to walk your hands back towards your hips. Get into that deeper stretched position. Do a little wiggle from side to side. See if you can shake that friction, holding your feet back. And that's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is it. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in. Come into something that looks like you're just kneeling. Oh man, your hips might be quite tired. Maybe your leg muscles are a little toasted. Breathe, relax for a second. And when you can, we're going to come back up into standing to help shake out all of the tension in our legs and in our hips. Let's go. Come back into standing. We're going to shake it out. If you are joining this for the first time and you don't know what our shaking looks like, get ready. It's going to look crazy. We're going to start by shaking off our legs like this. I want you to imagine you're flicking water off of your feet. You're going to flick water into the eyes of your enemies. And when you do that, I want you to get comfortable, get relaxed in that position so that your ankle starts flopping all over the place. Your calf muscles are swinging and going crazy. And let the leg relax. Switch over to the other side. We're going to start with that flicking like you just got out of the pool and your feet are still wet, so you're gonna harass your friends. And as you get more comfortable with that, relax the ankles, let them flop around, let the calves shake, let the whole leg go crazy. We're gonna add in a little bit of wiggling in just a second. We're gonna try our best to release some of that tension in the hips with a little bit of movement, all right? It's gonna look something like this. What I want you to try to do is stand up, drop into like 10% of a squat, the slightest bend in the knees, put all your weight into one leg, and then this leg is just gonna be kind of floaty and kind of chill, all right? From here, I want you to hang out maybe on the big toe or the ball of your feet, and I want you to rotate your leg in and rotate the leg out. Notice nothing else is moving. It's just this leg where it's connected at the hip. I'm bringing the leg in, bring the leg out, bring the leg in, bring the leg out, bring the leg in, bring the leg out. When you pick up the pace, you get a little bit more flowy with it, turn it into a dance. You get to the position where your legs can just flop around and relax. You might notice your quad muscles are just flying all over the place when you're swinging your leg back and forth. That is the type of relaxation that we want. When you get skilled at this, you can sort of integrate it into the leg shake. You can get a little bit of this motion going on, and that'll help relax the hips just a little bit. Let the quads shake and let that leg really relax. You can try it on the other side. Add it without your feet on the ground. And without your feet on the ground, it's a little less, intense. You don't get that whoosh, 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 that flicking motion, but it's fine. That's all you need. Cool. That was really loud. That is how we're shaking out the legs. We're reducing some tension in the hips, in the legs, helping you feel a little bit smoother so that we can get into side split number 2. Again, stand 8 to 12 inches in front of whatever it is that you're ready to fall back into. I recommend the wall, but a table will do. Anything that will not slide or collapse is good. Let's go. Open up the legs decently wide. Again, no pain in the hips. Fold forward. Put your hands down like you're going to do a push-up. Let the legs open up because now we are in that right hip alignment position. From here, we're going to try our best to externally rotate the legs, which means the heels are down, the toes are up, the knees are pointing up, heels are down, toes are up, knees are pointing up, so that we can walk our hands back towards our hips, get into a deeper stretch. From here, we're going to do one wiggle from side to side to break the friction, holding our feet back, and that's it. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22. Remember to breathe, don't hold your breath. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in. Breathe. Chill. Relax. That was our second side split. We got one last one to do. So we're going to shake out the legs. We're going to relax those hips and get to it. Come back into standing when you can. I'm so close to the camera. I'm going to take a quick peek at the chat. MadStar22 asks, which part of TikTok is this? Is the part of TikTok where I help use the algorithm to help you stay consistent. I help you to find a community of people that you actually enjoy, who are supportive of each other, helping each other feel like the suffering in this hip mobility work, this movement work, this side split work is a little bit more bearable, a little bit more fun, a little bit more enjoyable. And hopefully we all make a bunch of progress in our side splits, in our movement together. We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and that means Monday through Sunday. So if you want to practice a little bit more fitnessy stuff, you want to move a little bit better, you want to work on some side splits, this is the place. And you can train your consistency by just being here and showing up. Cool? Cool. What are we doing? I think I said we're shaking out our legs, so I don't know why we're back in the side split. It's because I do the spiel. The spiel leads me to the side split. Let's go. We're shaking out the legs. Same person that asked where we're at in this universe of TikTok. Shaking out the leg is gonna look a little bit crazy. It's gonna look a little bit weird. You might not want to do this in public because it's so strange looking, and that is okay. Good thing all you need is your home, a nice quiet corner. What we're doing is we're shaking out the leg. We're reducing the tension in our body by forcing our muscles to relax. If your muscles are tense, you're going to move like a robot, and it's not going to be floppy and wiggly and shaky and relaxed. You obviously also don't need this many seconds of aggressive shaking. You need maybe 5 to 10 seconds, and I do it for way more because we're teaching, we're showing, we're helping other people figure it out too. From there, add in a little bit of that rotation at the hip. Notice nothing else is moving, is just this leg where it connects to the pelvis, rotating in, rotating out, rotating in, rotating out. We're letting these muscles get a little taste of movement and letting them chill out a little bit. Do the other leg. If you're just joining in for the first time, we start with something that looks a little bit like you just got out of the swimming pool and you're flicking the water away off of your toes, maybe into the eyes of your friends, maybe your kids, maybe your enemies, whatever. Flicking, flicking, flicking. And then as you get more comfortable with that, I want you to keep on relaxing the calves, relaxing the ankles, let them flop around and go all sorts of crazy places. As you get more comfortable with that, I want you to add in other things. Just shake out the leg, wiggle, flop around. And this thing that we just did, where our hips are getting loosened, we're using these muscles in the hips to rotate the leg. You can start integrating that movement into the shake. It'll be a little bit difficult until you really figure out how to use those muscles, but as you get more comfortable, you can start spinning, rotating, flapping, shaking the leg out, and that is what we do in between stretches. You can use this principle of shaking out the tension when you're working out, when you're doing other types of fitness things. If you're doing bicep curls at the gym and you have done a ton of sets, your arms are tired, you're feeling that pump, your biceps are so swollen, your elbows can't even extend straight anymore. They're just hanging out at like a 150-degree angle and you're just walking around like this. Right? In those moments, if you start shaking out the tension, letting the muscles relax as much as possible, you'll train your body to be able to relax a little bit more and help you get a little bit more out of your next set. Cool? All right. That's enough rest. It's time for our third and final side split. Let's do it, everybody. Stand in front of whatever it is that is going to catch you when you are about to fall backwards. Fingers crossed you don't fall backwards, but in case you do, you are prepared. Open up the legs decently wide. Does not have to hurt at the hips. Should not hurt at the hips. If they do, bring your feet in. Fold. Put your hands down if you can. Widen your leg stance. Breathe. And externally rotate the legs. Heels are down. Toes are up. Knees are pointing up. From here, we're going to walk the hands back towards our hips. Put the weight all the way back into our legs. We're going to do a little wiggle from side to side. Get into that deep stretch. That's it. Let's go. 30 seconds. 30. 29. 28. 27. 26. 25. You can do more wiggles at any time if you feel like you can get a little bit deeper. 23. 22. 21. 20. 19. 18. 17. 16. 15. 14. 13. 12. 11. 10. 9. 8. 7. 6. 5. 4. 3, 2, 1, 0. Walk your hands forward. Bring your legs in. That was our third and final side split for the day. Chill, relax, grunt, groan, whatever you gotta do. You have finished the most hard stuff. Now it's time to relax, shake it out, check some joints, make sure your body is feeling all right, and then you can go to bed if that makes sense in your schedule. Let's go. Come on up into standing. Let's shake it out. Start with the leg. Shake, 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 shake. Flick water into the eyes of your enemies. Flick, 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 flick. Hold on to something for balance. You don't have to keep the knee so high once you get comfortable with it. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop. Rotate, 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 rotate. Start with something that looks like this. Turn it into something that looks like this. Shake out the leg. Rotate those hips. Whew. Other side. Flick, 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 flick. Get comfortable. Shaky, shaky, shaky. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Flop, 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 flop around. Lean against something for balance. Shake that leg out. If I'm ever demonstrating a situation where my leg is like doing something crazy way up out here, is unnecessary. I'm exaggerating. I'm making sure that you can see because there's more contrast against the white background than whatever's going on in this dark corner, right? So you can let that leg relax and really let it relax, but just letting it hang off to the side and getting it nice and chill. Shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 flop. Oh, that should be good enough. But we're going to add in one very intense, thoughtful, meaningful version of that position that we were talking about earlier, where we are rotating the leg in and out. All right. Instead of just being super chill and casual with it, we're going to try to reach that end range of motion. So let's get into it. We're going to pop into a little bit of a squat. I'd say maybe like 30% of a squat. You don't need your legs super wide. Bring them a little bit closer together because they'll make it easier. From here, we're going to focus all of our weight into this leg. Stay balanced. Nothing else is moving. Just this leg is rotating. This leg is going to rotate in. I want you to keep on trying to bring that knee in, and then do the opposite. Open it up, open it up, open it up, open it up, open it up. And I want you to do 3 to 5 reps. In, out, in, out. That's 3. In, out, 4, and 5. Whew. That's one side. Let's go to the other side. Again, 30% of a squat. Focus all your weight onto this leg so that this leg can rotate. Maybe come up onto the balls of your feet to help you remember which leg is rotating. And bring that leg all the way in. Bring it in. Bring it all the way out. And in. And out. And in. Ooh, there we go. Got a little crack in that hip. Out. And in. And out. I think that's number 4. One more. In. And out. That's 5. Whew. Shake out those hips. Let those muscles chill and relax. Okay. That's it for the intense stuff. It's time to chill out for realsies and check our joints, check our muscles, make sure everything is working. First thing we're going to do is some hip circles. You can imagine that you're doing some slow-mo hula hooping if you'd like. And we're just going to move through these hip circles for a couple of seconds. I feel a lot of stretching on the left and right side after these side splits. So right here and right here. If you already know that you got something that's going to be tight, you can focus all your time on that directly. You don't need to do the full hip circles if you don't want to. It's okay. We're just checking to make sure everything works. All right. We're going to follow up with some high knees. You really don't need to do that many. You'll know immediately if your legs are not going up. 1 or 2 is fine. We're going to pop into a squat, fold at the hips. We're going to try and bring the knees forward in front of the toes. That'll put some pressure into the knees. It'll also put a bunch of pressure into the ankles. Your Achilles tendon should be firing. Your calves should be tight. And I want you, from here, do a calf raise. Just work those leg muscles a little bit. If those happened nice and smooth, normal enough, come back into standing and you are done. We just went through a whole bunch of the main movement patterns that your lower body should be capable of, should be able to support some weight in. And if you're able to pull it off, then you're good to go. Thank you, everybody, for coming in and practicing consistency with me today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had fun. I hope you're feeling a little bit more relaxed now that you've had a couple of seconds to not be doing the side splits. We do this every day to practice consistency, to build a little bit of community, and to bring good vibes to the internet about fitness, right? At the end of the day, the most important quality is consistency. If you can't make it for the whole life, that's okay. Come and do a little bit of it. If you can make the whole life, amazing. Try to bring some good energy to the life. Support other people who are just barely starting their fitness journey and need a little bit of support. I do this every day at 9 p.m. Eastern, and you can come in Monday through Sunday, anytime of the week for that. However, on Monday night, I need to start half an hour early because I need to get out of here a little bit early. And that means on Monday night, we are starting at 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. Every other day is 9 p.m., just Monday night, all right? The weekend's over, but on weekends, Saturday, Sunday, we do a bonus 9 a.m. live, and that one is a lot of fun. A lot of new people come in for that, so feel free to hang out on those. I will remind you when it's like Friday so that you don't have to hold this little piece of information about Saturday, Sunday mornings. What else we got? If you can't make the live, but you like what we're doing and you like the exercises, I have a YouTube channel, and the YouTube channel is the same. It is at Splits on the Side, same username as on TikTok. And we have a 15-ish minute, absolutely silent, no talking version of the workout. And all we do is go from exercise to exercise to exercise to exercise to exercise. There is no chit chat, no talking, no explaining, no nothing. You just get to it, get it done, and you get the heck out. If you need that, go ahead and check it out. Again, the username is at Splits on the Side. Che asks, Monday at 8:30 p.m. Yes, Monday at 8:30 p.m. We are starting half an hour early. And yeah, I think that's all of the information I got for you. Okay, I have been away from the cameras for a really long time, so I'm gonna check chat now. Chat time. I'm awkwardly repositioning the yoga blocks underneath me so that I can scoot my butt over. And if you're wondering what the heck was going on, that's what was going on. Connie says, finally, I made it on time. Thank you. Lovely, Connie. Congratulations. Hope you enjoyed the full workout and your body is chilling, relaxing, feeling good. Everybody was still on. I hope you're feeling proud. It's not an easy workout. It's not a short workout, but hopefully you enjoyed it. You feel like you made some progress in your hip mobility, in your stretching. You might not feel progress every single day. You might not want to come into this thing with 100% energy every day because that is pretty much impossible. It is really hard to prioritize fitness every single day. You got a life. I get it. All right. So on days when you feel like you got maybe 10% energy or 20% energy, come in, hang out, do your best. I try to make this a little bit more relaxing, a little bit more turn off your brain-ish. I do the counting. I tell you what to do. You just follow along, and you can daydream the whole time if you want. Just look at the camera long enough to figure out what the next move is. So hopefully incorporate a little bit of this consistency into your evenings, and I hope to see you soon. Okay, anyways, I'm scrolling on the chat. What else we got? Anyone want to share the fun stuff in life with me? Okay, interesting. My fun stuff is the life. You're here. We are sharing. Katarina says, thanks for sharing your time and keeping us motivated. Amazing. I'm happy to be here. Ganowski says, here. Thank you, Ganowski. Babushka shouts, TikTok shop. Nope, I got nothing to sell. But it could be really cool if I suddenly turned into one of those people who like changed 50,000 times in 5 minutes and was like, hey, this is the newest, coolest pair of ugly gym shorts you've ever seen. Tori Sun says hi. Hello, Tori. All right, I'm scrolling. I'm looking for chat, looking for questions, looking for comments, looking for things to respond to. Coach Anita Monique says, I needed that. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm glad we can spend some time stretching together. V Meta says, amazing workout. Lovely. I feel like that came in pretty early. So if you liked it that much at the beginning, I hope you hit I hope you hit the follow and subscribe button and keep coming back, because we are all about practicing consistency and helping make some progress. A basic part of your life. All right, I think I've hit most of the messages up top, so I'm gonna scroll all the way back down, and we are ready to move on. Connie says, I put an alarm for every day. That is an amazing level of consistency. I guess technically I also have an alarm for waking up every day, and that is also important to me. So I get it, I understand. No, I think the TikTok app doesn't do a 100% consistent job of alerting people to when the lives are started. To counter that a little bit, the lives usually are scheduled in advance so that you can like interact with that thing and potentially get a notification. I don't know how reliable that is either, especially if your phone's on silent mode. So an alarm is a good idea. Thank you for setting an alarm. Thank you for prioritizing this live, your own fitness, stretchy stuff, hip mobility stuff, enough that you would set an alarm. I appreciate it. Okay. Gayeta says, a final. Good job, everyone. It's great. It's true. Good job, everybody. All right. And with that, I think we have wrapped up everything over on TikTok. I'm going to scroll over here on YouTube. If you guys didn't know, I stream on YouTube and TikTok at the same time to put the live to double duty. Eduardo, thank you so much for the ever-present engagement, happiness, and enthusiasm, and emojis. Queen RR, thank you for taking the time to Google Translate everything so that you can respond and be helpful. Manga Mania 106 asks, when I sit in the deep squat, my ankles hurt. That wasn't actually a question, that was a statement. If Manga Mania is still on, let's talk about some ankle stuff. When you sit in a deep squat, it's very demanding on a lot of mobility. Your hips have to be able to fold forward. Your knees have to be able to come all the way back. And your ankles have to have enough mobility to lean forward enough that it brings your body weight forward enough that you're not falling back and going, oh, what's going on? So it's totally normal for your ankles to be a little bit unhappy. There's a lot of demands being put on your ankle, and those are the exact same demands that show up when people are like, oh, my heels keep coming off the ground. If your heels are coming up, it just means your ankles, usually your ankles, need a little bit more flexibility work. However, the squat is complicated. So that might not be the only thing you need, and you might need a little bit more of something else. However, if you have enough ankle mobility, you can possibly overcome whatever other thing that we haven't diagnosed or found out. So if your ankles are hurting in that deep squat, the next step is to figure out where it's hurting. If it's hurting here in the front of your ankle, where you're feeling maybe like a little pinching sensation, then maybe you've reached the end of that range of motion and your bone is touching bone. That is plausible. And in that case, you might want to work on opening up the hips a little bit, rotating them out to the side. Usually that lets your hips sink deeper into a deep squat position, and it stops putting pressure on the ankle. All right. If you're feeling your ankles get uncomfortable somewhere else, maybe you got to work on your foot positioning, right? If you are having your foot come up like this, so that all of your weight is on one side of your foot or on the other side of the foot. And then, I mean, I'm exaggerating a little bit, but you get the idea. If you're feeling a lot of pressure on one side of your foot in particular, perhaps you need to try to use your feet like a tripod. The chunk of flesh right underneath your big toe, the chunk of flesh right underneath your pinky toe, and your heel together are 3 points on the foot that together are kind of like a tripod. And I want you to distribute your weight as much as you can evenly between those 3 points. If you do that, you should have a stronger foot position that lets you do a couple more things a little bit more stably. When your foot's a little bit less stable, your ankles might start bowing in like this, and that might cause your knees to bow in. If it does the opposite, it might cause your ankles to bow out and your legs to also bow out. So starting at your feet, staying strong in that tripod position is a really useful skill to slowly integrate and master. We got a question about ankle pain. I'm trying to think. Is there anything else I can talk about? Is there anything else that I know? If you're feeling some pain in the Achilles tendon back here, this lump of hard thing in your ankle behind your leg is the Achilles tendon. The tendon's job is to connect your muscles to your bones, and they are very strong. If you're feeling some Achilles tendon pain in the ankle, then you probably want to just rest it a little bit. Give it some time to chill out. That rest, however, is not the same as just never using your ankle again. It has been researched that if you put a little bit of pressure and some stress on the Achilles tendon for about 10 minutes-ish a day in the morning, and then in the evening, you can get the tendon to heal, recover, and get stronger pretty fast. And what that might mean is you do a whole bunch of stuff that requires the Achilles tendon to be in a stretch position. So that could be a calf stretch, and come out of that calf stretch, and you do a couple of sets in the morning and do a couple of sets in the evening. That, as long as you're feeling the stress on the Achilles, should help it get stronger over time. If you're feeling like your Achilles tendon gets way more painful after that type of exercise where you're doing a couple sets of calf raises, then maybe dial all of it back. But you might find that that is exactly what you needed to do some strengthening work, and it might make you feel a lot better. So give it a try, and yeah, if it's going the wrong direction, cut it out. If it's helping, great. Excellent. All right, Ganassi says, Galleta, good seeing you again. Lovely, lovely. Thank you for participating in the community and welcoming each other. I appreciate it. All right, that's it. I think that is all of the chat. I am ready to wrap up. Thank you, everybody, once again for coming in, practicing consistency. Hope you enjoyed the workout, liked the little bit of sweating. I hope at this point, since the live exercising portion has finished for a little bit, you're a little bit more chilled out, your muscles are relaxed, and you're ready to enjoy some rest and some bedtime. Hope you have a wonderful week. Again, Monday night, the live is starting at 8:30 p.m. instead of the normal 9 o'clock time. It's just that one day. On Monday, we're starting half an hour early. So make sure to adjust your alarms if you're using those. We'll see you in a little bit. Cool. Goodbye. Closing out. And now. Same here, Eduardo. We're going to start half hour early tomorrow.